Not really. Just give us a minute here, guys. We'll be ready to go. Got a lot of things to talk about today. And big shout out to T-Bone for the Prime sub. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Also, congratulations to your daughter graduating last week. Let's give a nice little shout out to T-Bone and his daughter.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Knights of Teleria podcast. This is number 91, guys. We're getting closer and closer to that 100th episode. Man, I am excited because we got to talk about a few things today. We got the event dungeon coming back. I want to touch a little bit up on Faction Wars because it feels like it's getting a little bit harder, and more because we're just killing the day ads too fast. And then we got a new mythical in the game where it's actually going to be a dungeon boss, but we don't know if we're going to be able to acquire them as we have with every other raid collaboration that they've done. But before we get too far into today's show, let me introduce my co-host for today's podcast. In the top little red box, we've got the $14 free-to-play content creator, Mr. FinalKenpachi. Ken, how are you, brother?
Doing good, a little bit tired. Lots of stuff happened today on the IRL. I walk a lot today. So I'm a little bit tired because I just drink Red Bull actually. Hopefully we should be okay. How about you guys? How you guys doing?
I'm sorry, sir, but it's Monster all the way. We don't do Red Bulls here.
I mean, Monster. I agree, but I didn't find it. So
I feel like, I don't know, guys. The last time I had a Red Bull, it tasted like cough medicine. I don't know. Maybe chat. I'm just imagining, but just like I don't know. Red Line though, I don't know if you guys have ever had that. That is one to not try because horror stories with that. Let's just say that much. Next up, all the way from Texas, the dab master himself, Mr. Zero Brew. Zero, what is going on, brother? How are you?
I'm doing just fine. I'm over here on Twitch trying to find you in the category. So I don't know, you might want to check that. Make sure you're there. Out here doing the job, the work. What's going on? Hope everyone is doing great. It's been a good week, I guess. Don't know, anything special happen? Not really. It's Memorial Day. My kid's out of school for the summer. That's probably the best thing. So there it is.
Already? It's only.
Oh yeah, we get out before Memorial Day, baby. Well, they also start like August 13th. So, yeah.
Okay. All right. And next up, giving us the top 100 live arena perspective, Mr. Gestal Gaming, aka G Mills. What is going on, brother? How are you?
What's happening? Got the 6-star Lydia from the champ training event. I put up about 100 and what I put up like 105. We had someone like push real hard early. Was up in like the 50K range, and I'm like, oh man, we're gonna go to war here. And then I just kind of gradually was grinding away at it. They went to 80. I just kept pushing and pushed right by them. They stopped at 80. So, 6-star Lydia to help out the Chimera team, get me some more relics.
105K, and you did not make it up to the top 100.
I know, people are saying it was kind of close, but I was shocked. But I guess it was a 3-day tourney, right? Because I remember
you're not missing anything.
I don't want to be up there, but the Krisk event was what, like 6 days or something? Because I was like,
that was brutal. That was brutal, Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. I think I did like 220 for that.
Yeah, and this one we didn't have RSL helper up either, so it was definitely one of those ones where I was just like, you know what, I don't have enough brews, I'm not going to go for it. But I do want to give a shout out here to Mr. Boozer at 106K, free to play 97. So that's pretty cool. But the top here is kind of insane. I would love to see what the next person runner up was, because he did 310K. So I wonder.
Too legendary.
Wait, what did I finish at?
I wonder if these two guys were going at it, because the scores are pretty tight, 297 and 310. God, imagine coming in second in global and not getting the soul. That's sad. That's sad. And last but not least, we got my favorite late night endgame player giving us a low spend perspective of Raid Shadow Legends, Mr. MXPJE. PJ, what is going on, brother? How are you?
Doing good. Just been kind of chilling in the raid. There's a lot of downtime. I feel like right now we're in between fusions. We got a news from the event dungeon coming. We've had some like little like ice golem, spider stuff. I've been skipping most of that, catching up on masteries. And yeah, no UFC this weekend, so just kind of chilling, hanging out, and happy to be here talking with you guys.
Awesome. So Gestal was the only one that went for it. It sounds like on their main account. I did do it on my alt account. I had to. There were two guys in the running for like 25, 30K. And when I really set my sight on, you know what, I've got like my alt account sitting on like 4,000 brews of each one. I'm like, but you know what? I don't want to take it from somebody that's going to use it. I'm like, so now I've actually started putting a lot more work into my alt account and kind of put my main on the back burner because I don't know, everything's on farms. So when we start doing some more of these guides and stuff, guys, we're going to start showing some more realistic builds like we did on the last showcase. So I'm not saying goodbye to my main account. I'm just saying it's my side hustle now, right? It's my side piece. So with that said, Ken, did you bother at all for it?
No, man. I like we talked about that last week, right? For me, like getting champion is the more important than the getting their soul. Yes, it can take forever. I agree with you to purchase the 6-star Lydia slowly, but it's possible. Like you can purchase 6-star, you know. And I don't think Lydia going to be game changer for me. For me, the important part about the game is the arena, and I'm not using Lydia on the arena. So if I want to go a champion soul, it's going to be arena champion.
Okay. Just want to give a quick shout out here to Mr. Bronco Raid, who's watching us over on the YouTube side. Guys, if you aren't following Bronco, I don't know what you're doing. Maybe you should also join his Discord if you want to have some fun times. We have this love-hate relationship in there a lot of the time, so everybody in Discord really loves the banter between me and him, and we may be actually seeing what he really looks like on a collab between me and him. Don't
Big reveal.
It'll be there. Zero, did you end up going for the Lydia Soul?
No, day one person shot up to like 10 or 15, like right out the rip. And I was like, this is going to be one of those situations. And yeah, and they just kept going up to like 40 or 50 or 60, which, seeing some of these numbers, 40 or 50 or 60 is nothing. I probably had the resources to grind for it. But yeah, I kind of like in Ken's boat here is like, how bad do I want to burn my resources to go get this one thing for this one champion? Now, granted, Lydia's amazing, especially in Chimera. I still use her every now and then, depending on what I got going on in Arena. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. They do these things. I really wish Player would just make it easier for us to get souls for everyone. Because I'm going to be honest, souls are just that important. I know we talked about it last week, but not getting, and by the way, Blazin', I watched your video on Ishiyama, and you're like, this guy hits like toilet water without a soul, and then they lock that behind the thing and turn this Lydia thing on as the big grind for it. So when they do stuff like that, it's like I can't. Like 1 out of 100 gets a shot to burn all their resources to get this one thing. And I did do it for Ninja, and I will say it made a huge difference on Ninja, but I don't see it making as big of a difference on Lydia. So I skipped, and I really wish they would just open up getting better souls for us, because to be able to buy, Ken's all about, hey, I'll go buy one. Yeah, you buy one every 6 months or so as 6-star soul, right? Or maybe not even that, 8 months. So anyway, that's my 2 cents on it.
Can I say something real quickly?
Yeah, go ahead.
When Zero mentioned that, like, people get a snipe on that. Like, you can spend your resources, but it's not guaranteed you are going to get that. I wish like there is number 1 getting 6-star, number 2 5-star, number 3 4-star. It is a compensation gift, because the guy on my tournament was leader during the entire tournament, and last day I just checked, he got a snipe on the last I don't know, 1 hour maybe. I didn't check that. Yeah, there was like 20,000 K difference, and they snipe him, so
So
he got nothing basically.
I was looking at my tournament, and my bracket was sitting at like 25, 30K is what everybody was. There was 3 guys going for it. And I was like, all right, well, let me log in last minute. Let me see. I'm like, I'm sitting on some books and stuff. Let me see if I can snipe it. And thank God I waited till the last 15 minutes, because these guys blew from like 20, 30K to like 80, 70. I was like, yep, nope, going back to bed. See you later.
Yeah, Ken, just to cut in real fast, I love that idea, because how many people just did not participate? You know, you in chat, how many of y'all did not participate because you had like 1 or 2 people going at it? And it's like, you know what? If they did offer 6 through 1, potentially, and it's
So
like,
much
oh, you
better.
know, I have an opportunity to get a 4-star Lydia and come in 3rd place. I think so many more people
It's a
would
great
participate
idea.
and spend their resources.
Well,
They totally should do that. It's such a great idea.
I think, you know, it would have been better if they had just done like a deck event where even if the points were inflated, at least that way everybody got the chance to it. But yeah, I agree. PJ, did you end up going for it or no?
No, my bracket was looking pretty easy the first few days, so I was thinking about maybe trying to snipe it, see if anyone else is gonna do it. I didn't really want to go for it and push that hard. I've done a few of these in the past, and it's just super stressful, and you never know if anyone else is in your bracket that's gonna try to snipe you as well. So I just went up and got I think I got the Lego book. I did 10,000 points. Did a little bit of hard fashion war champion, like leveling up for that. But I think they ended at like 50 or 60,000, so they ended up pushing it decently high, more than I wanted to put into it, so I skipped.
Okay. Sus, are you just being sarcastic here, dropping 300K? Like, did you actually drop 300K and lose, or are you just like joshing because,
No,
you know?
he's talking about.
No, that
you know,
was-
you showed the global tournament.
Okay.
He was like,
earlier,
Because
yeah.
I was like, you know, I dropped like 300 and something on the Krisk event, and I came in second, which was heartbreaking. But
Oh, it's brutal.
oh
That's
God, and doing that without RSL helper, except for like the last 2 days, was painful. All right, so overall, I'm not a real big fan of these events, especially when it comes to like shards, because that's what happens. They get sniped at the very last minute. And I did hear one case of like somebody just out of nowhere, wasn't even in the running, and just blew like 80K points and took the soul, no problem. So that's crazy to see that happens. And I mean, again, that's the biggest watch out for going for this type of an event, right? Is you really can't do or shouldn't do anything till like the last half hour, because you never know what's going to blow up. That said, let's talk a little bit about the event that's coming tomorrow, and it's the Deck of Fate event. And we're going to start getting some of the higher rank glyphs. And I do want to say that they are actually giving us a 2x soulstones with this, which they really haven't been mixing the two together. Whenever we get a soulstone event, whether it's a 2x or whether it's just an event, they really haven't been putting that together. So I'm glad to see that they're putting them together now, and that we can kind of, you know, double dip on the rewards, I guess, right? Will you guys be participating in this deck event, even though it's champ training? So if you have any champ training to get done after the Lydia event, or will you be pulling souls? Zero?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, what's the big prize on this one? I didn't even see.
Really?
So yeah,
It's just
you're gonna be getting
New
the
glyph.
epic glyphs, the new ones.
Yeah, I think this is. I'm gonna be honest. I think this is 100% a bait after the training, where people didn't probably participate in the Lydia for the reasons we just talked about. I think this is a bait before a new champion comes into the game. Again, the Freya came, and we didn't get anything. Someone correct me, but like when we did the last 2 event dungeons, right? That was around like the Thor and all that stuff and Odin, and then the last one with the Queen, that was all about the Queen of Hearts. There's not a technical theme on this one, right?
So there is. This is going to be the
The
Chaos
Awakened
one.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Chaos
the Chaos
Awakened.
Awakened.
Awakes,
But are we
yeah.
getting a champ for that?
So we haven't
like
been
a
told
fluid
yet, but
chance.
we're gonna be discussing this in just a minute here with the new event dungeon that's coming out and what they've done.
Okay.
And I'll give
So-
you guys
so-
what information's been laid back to me that I won't get in trouble for. So
Leaks.
Links. Okay. All right. So all that being said, again, you guys have the inside information, being able to be in the content creator chat with the company and stuff. But I will say this: if they are going to give us champions, I think this is a major bait. Now, again, if you're watching this chat, like, you do you, boo boo. Like, don't listen to us. This is just my pure speculation. I feel like they do a couple of these things, and just like Blazin just said, hey, this is the first time they're doing this and this together, and you can go get these cool glyphs. I think that glyphs are the low-hanging fruit to get you to use your resources, especially people that didn't go for the Lydia one. And then potentially we might have new champions that come out with this. Again, they haven't announced it yet, but you know, that's the whole point of playing Weight Shadow Legends. Maybe there's new champions coming in, and the last 2 times they did this, there was a Freya, and I forgot the Knave dude, which I didn't go for him, but then I did go for Khan. And I will say I love Khan. I happened to pull a second one, which is a whole nother thing. But I had other people mention in my videos on Khan that they pulled him and had no regrets, as they say, no regrets on going for the Khan on that one too. So that's my 2 cents. You know, I don't know if that's the case, and I could be shooting myself in the foot because I do need more souls, but I'm gonna hold out probably.
okay. So it looks like we're gonna be getting a chance at all of the glyphs. So legendary, epic, rare, and uncommon ones. So I really don't know if it's worth going for it unless we're getting, you know, like 5 of the legendary ones. Eventually we'll unlock them, but I honestly feel like the only glyphs that I'm really looking forward for this right now, or at this point, is the legendary ones. And because everything else, it's, you know, on my max roll speeds, I'm going to get 2 speed. Yes, by the end of it, I could get 12 extra speed on my champions, but the chances of it rolling to a, you know, 10 are already hard enough. But the reason I want the 7s, you know, the legendary ones, is because I skip basically everything else. So I've got a better chance of getting that extra speed between the 7 and 12. So myself, I'm thinking I'm probably going to skip. Sorry. Go ahead, Zero.
Yeah, no, you're good. And I'll cut in and then let everybody talk real fast. And I think related to the glyphs, like how many times do we roll those, you know, 3 to 8, and we roll a 3 every time, right? And I mean, it happens a lot, right? So I'm going to look at these glyphs personally as they aren't going to roll up to 12. They're going to roll to 7. So it's like, okay, if I want to get a guaranteed 7 or a guaranteed 5 roll on a you know, speed champion or something like that, in that example, that's where I'm going to use those glyphs. I'm not going to be like, oh, this is going on my fastest champion, I'm going to guarantee myself to roll that 12. Yeah, no. And so that being said, yeah, getting a few extra 7s on speed, for example, and you know, some of these other things, it'll be nice. But yeah, I'm not gonna burn the resources for that personally.
Okay. Chat, how many of you guys are gonna go for this event tomorrow? I have this weird suspicion that they might actually boost the points for the souls that we use, possibly. I not confirmed. It's just the feeling that I have. Ken, will you be going for that event tomorrow?
Like you mentioned, they are normally, when they release the 2x, there is nothing, right?
Yep.
2x soulstone and nothing. They doesn't want us to do combo. Why they are doing that right now? Because it's a bait. They want your soulstone right now, so you cannot save it for the later. I'm gonna skip.
Okay.
And the reward is very bad, by the way. Who cares about creep? I mean, Glyph is new power creep, obviously, if you guys...
Right.
Yeah, but I'm $14, so I'm like...
Gestal, what about you?
Well, so it's a 2x for the little and middle guys, right?
That's
correct.
Yeah, I'll pull them just because of that. There's mythical souls I'm looking for, and so like I've actually been pretty lucky in the shop lately, and then I just got the Lydia. So I'm just looking for PvE champs right now or mythicals. So I'm just gonna pull because it's 2x. and hope for the best on that. I don't really care about the path event, honestly. If I could scoop up something here or there, great. But I don't care about the path event.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. PJ, what about you?
I'm gonna wait, I guess, and see. I think I'm gonna probably skip. I could be wrong, but I was watching some videos yesterday talking about this, and I think you can only get the legendary ones if you do the pin
Combo.
3 epics in a row,
That's correct.
Oh, dang.
and you still only get a chance of getting a legendary. I'm sure there's gonna be other options as
terrible.
well. So with that being said, I don't think it's gonna be that good because you have to get pretty lucky. It is gonna be a pinned one, which is nice, so you will be able to guarantee yourself if you pull enough to get 3 epics in a row. But then to get the 6-star glyph, and you want the speed one, legendary. So yeah, it's gonna be lots of RNG. If you do have the souls, like Gestal said, if you just want the souls, it is a good time to do that for the small and medium ones. But then again, just like KNIGHTS said, this also feels like a giant bait. They want your souls now. Why do they want your souls now? Probably because there's something coming down the line. So I'm probably gonna save. Maybe do some camp training. But I don't think I'm gonna go that hard.
Okay. Well, let's talk a little bit about what we're going to be expecting this next week. So we do have the event dungeon coming back, and for one, I'm excited. I'm excited because they're taking this in a different way now, right? So as everybody knows right now, the boss is actually going to be a mythical champion. Now, they haven't really said how we're going to be able to obtain this, but
I can ask for it if you want.
They did say that there's going to be like multiple ways to obtain her, though, didn't they, on Twitter?
So what they said is it's not going to be a fusion. So it's been confirmed that this champion will not be the fusion. But this is actually, I feel, going to open up one of two different things. Either we're going to have a progressive chance for mythical champions, or we could very well possibly have our first guaranteed mythical. Now, I am being a little optimistic here with MTG coming in and saying, hey, we're the new owners, we want to show good face. I'm a little more optimistic saying that this might actually be a guaranteed mythical. Am I dreaming or not? Chat, what do you guys think? Ken, do you think that we're going to get either a progressive chance or a guaranteed way to get this mythical?
Okay, first of all, MTG purchased the Polarium till the February, so it's been 3 months,
well,
right?
They
2 months.
officially, everything has been in place now for 2 weeks. They finally took over 2 weeks ago.
Oh, is that?
2 or 3 weeks
Already?
ago.
That's what I heard. Yeah,
I thought it was February.
It was supposed
They
to
sent
be
the link us.
at the.
That was April.
It was supposed to be
First
the
quarter.
first quarter of.
Okay, you want a copium? Okay, sure.
We need the copium, Ken. We need a little bit.
So let's take a look. Let's remember the previous event dungeon. So there was a Odin, and he was champion chess, free. If you won your
It was
tournament,
guaranteed. It was a guaranteed for like 1%.
Yeah. There is a queen after that, Queen of the Hearts. She's also guaranteed, right? If you feel lucky enough, And I believe this is going to be same. And she's a mythical. I think we are going to get our first guaranteed mythical champion, probably on the Champion Chess Tournament reward. I'm thinking.
Okay. I think that is a fair assessment to say. I mean, they would not deviate from their trend. That said, chat, are you guys prepared to throw down for this mythical? We're going to review the skill kit here in just a minute, but I can imagine if Odin and the Queen were that much, imagine what the level will be for a mythical champion. PJ, what about you? Do you think it's going to be a guaranteed, or do you think it's going to be like maybe a login or something?
It's interesting because they said we're going to be getting her somehow, and I think they said multiple ways. It's just I'm kind of scared because we know like kind of how hard in the past some of the events are to get Legos. So to get a mythical, I can imagine what if there's going to be like on their end what we have to do to get it. If it's going to be in a tournament, the points are going to be astronomical. Granted, I guess we'll talk about her kit. Some people might have different feelings on her, but still, like a mythical, to get a free mythical or earn a mythical in the game is super strong. So I don't know if it's gonna be a tournament. I'm guessing it's gonna be some type of shards, and get your wallets out.
I like how he says that. Just shards and get your wallets out. The scariest part.
Can I
think
say something real quickly?
Go ahead.
Before everybody get their wallet out, be careful, guys. Before the tournament is ending, Plarium can do like maintenance, so all of your spending can go. You know, be careful about that. You guys don't remember what happened to Queen? Don't you guys remember?
True.
If it's a login, it'd be cool, but I don't know if they would do that.
I mean, I don't know. MTG, we haven't really heard from them, so this could be something. I know, I'm being too gullible, right?
Copium's okay.
Copium's okay. Gestal, what about you? What do you think?
Yeah, I think if we just go based on history, every champ that has been in a part of the event, not the event dungeon, but like the collabs around an event dungeon release were available. Odin was the boss in one, right? Queen was the boss in the second one. The Mythical's the boss in the third. As everyone's already stated, the ways we were able to get the two previous. Will that be the trend here? When I saw it, I guess when we got our deck, it was kind of the weakest deck I've ever seen. They didn't give us any information in it, but except for this champ.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't. That didn't occur to me. To me, it just was like, so wait, is this even going to be a champ available, or is this just like the boss for the new event dungeon? Obviously, I think they've cleared that up a bit since, but that was just my initial take on it from reading through the deck. I think what you guys have all said is fairly logical. I think if they do it kind of like the way they did Odin, I think they had maybe a progressive and they had a tournament. Would they do both? And obviously the progressive would have to be in primals, so that would get interesting. I don't know. It's let's see what they do. I don't know. I feel like they did. I don't even know why they gave us that deck. Honestly, they didn't really tell us anything.
I guess
they just wanted us to This is what they wanted, I guess, just to start sparking some interest in it. I guess I don't know.
Yeah,
I think we're confusing chat saying guaranteed with the saying it's not a guaranteed. Winning a championship.
You have a chance at actually getting it.
We shouldn't call it guaranteed.
But it's definitely not guaranteed. It's near impossible.
It's quotations guaranteed because that's what Plarium says when they put the event out there. You can get it guaranteed.
Yeah, I think we're just confusing people.
I'm sorry, chat. It's a prize for the 1%. I'm reading chat here, and ProPeps says, "Don't let server maintenance consume your wallet." That is a sound advice right there. I do expect that we are coming into a Prism event right now, so I could see them doing another Prism event with some really OP champions around the time that they would do a champion chase for this. That said, Zero, what about you, man? You're muted, bro. You're muted.
Yeah, so guaranteed. Yeah, I was guaranteed to get the Odin and the Queen, and I never got my guaranteed Odin and Queen. So I don't know.
I just guarantee you didn't try hard enough with that wallet.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously the Whales and Krakens, if this is an opportunity for that, they're just going to go ham for this, just to have it and get it or whatnot. And of course, as you keep adding mythicals, you are watering down the pool. Not saying that that's necessarily a bad thing, but eventually a year or two down the road, we're going to look back and being like, oh, I would really love to get I don't know, great kill, as Gestal likes to call them, or something like that, and it's going to just be harder to actually pull them out of shards. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with this. I don't anticipate much. I mean, I think the biggest announcement was, hey, pinpoints back up for sale or for farming, I guess.
Right. All the bad energy deals are about to come down our way, so get prepared.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Also, if she is in like a Prism event or something, they're probably gonna reduce the chances as well. I bet they cut them even more.
You mean lower the rate of
Prism.
how many legendaries you get?
Are you saying that she's gonna be like you can pull her from like a Prism?
No,
event?
I don't think we're going to be pulling her from a Prism.
Okay,
but
okay.
you know how they do like the events paired with like a Prism all the way on Friday, so people have the whole week to buy their 2,000 Prism, 3,000 Prism shards and pop them on that day to win the champion chase.
Darren
So I think
said guaranteed primals. Oh my
Yes.
god, they've never done it for primals, but they have certainly done it for sacreds, voids, and whatever.
Well,
Could you imagine
was-
if they said 150 primals? You get it.
that was going to be my next thing. And what I really want to know from you guys is, we do have a pretty, 20 mythicals right now that are obtainable through shards. I think somewhere in that vicinity, right? So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with Gizmac, 6, 7, 8. Do you guys think that they would do a guaranteed mythical with primals? Ken, and if so, how many do you think that they would use or they would want us to use?
Oh man, if they are going to do that, they should be let me know like 1 year before so I can save enough. So otherwise, I can't do that.
So true.
Yeah, I mean, I like to say 30, but that's not gonna happen, right? Because
No, it's going to be like
It'd be like
100
void.
minimum.
Yeah,
110,
okay.
It's going to be at least
Probably
100. How
100,
much is
yeah.
a void? What's the
110.
highest a void's ever been?
It started at 80. I think it's gone to 110.
It was
Yes.
90, I think, Rio.
Yeah, so
I
I'd
mean,
imagine maybe
100
75
means-
or 80.
Probably around like 7 months saving as a free to play and game free to play, maybe 8 months. We can get that much. Every 3 months, I'm getting like 30s. So
So right now, I've just been doing, again, not free to play, haven't purchased them, but I'm sitting on 18 since the last 2x.
You are
And
slacking.
I'm slacking, he says.
I'm at 30.
I had like 30 something as well.
Who is? Oh.
Civic.
Wait, Sweet's still playing?
Shout out
I-
Civic.
I
Reliable.
guess. Put me on the spot now, why don't you? We accepted his application. Welcome, Civic. Welcome, Civic to Gallifrey.
Yeah.
So Ken, you think what, 130, 140 for a guaranteed mythical?
110, let's say.
110. Okay. So you're putting them around where the voids would be
Yeah,
recently.
gotta be lower.
So at 110, Ken says that a mythical will be worth $550. Wow.
I don't know the price, man. Look, I don't know the price. I never checked this page. I don't know the price. Don't blame me for that. I'm not making the price, bro.
Okay. Chat, what do you guys think would be a fair amount for primals to get yourself a guaranteed mythical? I know Bick is a big fan of the number 180, 190 because that's about where he seems to get his mythicals at. He doesn't seem to get anything less than that. Always going into Mercy. People are like, what the hell, Ken? Gestal, what about you, man? What do you think?
80. Okay, 80. I'm changing 80. 80.
No take backs.
Too much pressure, man. Too much pressure. 80.
No take backs. No take backs. Gestal, what about you?
I mean, that's what I said. It'd probably be the same as voids. I feel like they treat these like voids. So I'd say 110. Easy. And in fact,
Okay.
I think it might even be more than that.
Okay.
I think they can go to 120, 130.
120, 130. Wow.
Mythical,
Okay.
bro. It's a mythical. Listen, I mean, they treat mythicals crazy. So
Well,
that's what I
that's-
think.
That,
Maybe
I
I'm
mean, if we
I hope
look
I'm
at
wrong.
it,
I hope you guys are
Mercy-
right. I'd love 80. I'm all for 80.
I mean, if we look at Mercy, right, we're talking what, close to 200, right? So
210.
you're talking
Yeah.
210. So you're talking $1,100 for a mythical champion. That's crazy. It's crazy. PJ, what about you? What do you think would be a fair price?
I'd like to see them around the Void number. Now, in their minds, are they the same value as Voids? Probably not. I think Gestal might be right. They would probably have them a little bit higher. I would like them to be what Ken said, around 100 to 110. Obviously, lower would be better for the player base, but I could see them valuing them at least the same as Voids, if not even more than Voids. So if they ever did do a guaranteed, I wouldn't be surprised if it was more, like more than what Voids would be, but it's just so much. Like the average person, like Ken said, if you're not spending, I think I don't buy primals. I'm at 30. Let's see here, 32 right now. So it would take almost like a year to save up. So if they did, you'd have to kind of need to know in advance, or which they're probably not going to do.
Right. Okay. Chris here says whatever amount Plarium decides to pick, even if it's logical to them, even if it's 110 or 100, we're still not going to be happy and we're still going to be pissed. And I think he is 100% on the money with that. Zero, what about you?
Yeah, so so there's also been inflation, right? So I think Sacreds used to be 20 for like a guaranteed Sacred, right? And then they inflated those up at some point in time, 25, right? So 25 equates to about $500 if you were to have to go buy at their price point, $20.
That's a legendary though.
Right, correct. So I'm just saying, in like Voids, I think we're 75 and have inflated up to 110 in some cases, depending on the Void or so. So you're right. It is for Mythical. I think if they came in at 100, that's $500, right? At $5 a pop. So it's for a Mythical, yeah. So maybe 125.
Woo!
Yeah, 125.
Okay, 125. He says. So you're valuing it at $750.
They're selling $600. $600, right? Or did I go higher?
At $5 a pop, it's $750. But right? Yeah.
No, I think it's 6 something, right?
What's 5 times 25? 125, 625. Sorry.
Yeah, so 625-ish, maybe 120. So 600. 600 is the price point, is what I think they'll come in at. Yeah.
Okay.
Be prepared to buy the $5 ones, because they're not going to put those on sale, and they're not going to offer $4 primals during that time. Now, could they make a lot more money if they did that? Yeah, I think so. But you know how Plarium be doing. I know it's not Plarium anymore. MTG is going to pick up where they left off. Maybe we'll see.
It's still Plarium.
It's not Aristocrat.
Exactly. It's not Aristocrat. And I do want to give a shout out here to Mr. Bick, who apparently went ham on pulling shards, pulled 8 legendaries and no Harima. I think what you need to do before the event is over is have a collab with Zero and just say, just have him Beetlejuice you one, right? Just have him Beetlejuice you one, and you'll get her. You'll get her. All right.
Can I say something real quick by the way about
Go ahead.
Guarantee Mythical again? I mean, we talk about that, but which champion they are going to do Guarantee? Like this lady? Because like on the like normal Guarantee event, like normal legendary champion or the Void legendary, they are not really doing like OP champion there, right? So we got the nonsense that was very surprised.
Yeah.
And about the Mythical, like what? Are they going to put Apidus there?
The cock.
Cock actually decent now, to be honest.
Yeah, he wouldn't be bad.
Like Mezomel, are they going to put Mezomel there? Are you guys going to pull that for them?
I wouldn't pull for a guaranteed Mezomel. Not that I don't think Mezomel is worth it, but I wouldn't. I would want to. But
tweaks still increasing your chance to get more Mythical too.
True.
And they are not going to guarantee during the 2x. It's not going to be happen.
True, but I mean, unless you have the luck that Bick has, where you've got to go up to 190 to pull a Mythical. Usually, some people are putting Mythicals between the 80 to 100. You know, sorry, Bick, I love you, bro. I love you. Don't take too much for that. All right, let's break down her skill kit. Let's take a look and let's see, is she going to be worth if she is a guaranteed for, let's say, the 100 shards? Let's find out. So, base form, The A1 attacks all enemies, heals all allies. The value of the heal is proportional to this champion's attack. The A2 removes all debuffs from all allies, then places an increased attack and a shield buff on all allies for 2 turns. The shield is proportional to this champion's attack. And then the A3 places a taunt and a fortify. For anybody who doesn't know, fortify basically reduces the ignored defense, right? So 25% ignored defense from whatever your champions have for 2 turns, and also places an unkillable on all allies except for her. Then
45 is opposite actually. It's going to be decrease their ignore defense effect.
Yeah, sorry, that's what I meant
On
to say.
you.
Yeah. And then the passive receives 15% less damage for each ally alive, and then the active effect instantly transforms this champion into the ultimate form after every ally is killed, kind of like Sigfriend. All right, so we've got a lot to talk about here. I like the kit. I think the worst part about it is the A3. If she is a damn mythical champion, why can't she place unkillable on herself? Taunt is something that Emic places and places an unkillable on everybody. So why can't she just place it on herself? Would that make her too crazy OP? I don't think so, because if she's taunting us, no matter what, she's going to die if I bring 2 damage healers in, right? That said, PJ, I'm going to start off with you. What do you think about her base form?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I kind of like what you mentioned. That's what I thought as well. Emic has a very similar ability, but he puts it on himself. She's a mythical. Why doesn't she put it on herself? It's not like they're protected or anything like that. So I think the A3 could have been a little bit better. I do like that they're saying it better at like the synergy between the first form and the second form. Like she's an attack-based champion. And she has some stuff here to make her like survivable and live longer, even though she's attack based. And then when she swaps over to her second form, some of the attack helps her there as well. So I do like the synergy there. She looks cool. I don't think she looks like crazy strong OP, but she looks like a solid mythical. But I don't know if that's good, like a solid mythical. I don't think she like rounds out to being insanely strong, at least her first form.
Okay. Chat, what about you guys on her base form? What are your feelings on it? Are you, I think I'm not unjustified for saying that she should place the unkillable on herself. Again, if she's going to be the event dungeon boss herself, right? We all have newts, right? We all have at least 1 G-Nut and a Marius. So if we're just attacking her, everybody else has got unkillable. She's gonna be the first one to die in the event dungeon boss, right? I mean, she's mitigating the damage just in the event dungeon from HP burns, not poisons. So go ahead, Zero.
Yeah, just refresh my memory on what Fortify does again.
So Fortify reduces the opponent's ignore defense. So if you have
or not just skills.
No,
just
it's flat. It's flat.
Yeah.
So
like 35% or something like that.
It's like Harima passive
25%. Yeah, it's basically
like
Harima
Harima.
passive skill. Yep.
Gotcha.
So
But Harima passive working for the all ally. She's kind of selfish.
very, very. So Zero, what about you? What do you think about her skill kit? He's like, shit, I wasn't ready yet.
No,
Even though you gave me all this information days ago, I'm not ready yet.
I know. I didn't even read it. Yeah, so I just think that I'm gonna be honest, it's so hard to stay on top of everything. And it's like there's so many champions in the game. Like for me, it's like I don't read it until I have to see it in action type thing. And I try to spare my brain from some of that. I hear what you're saying on the A3 and the unkillable and stuff, but again, the fortify is on her. So, and the unkillable will be protecting against, because AoEs. So, I mean, I don't necessarily dislike it. I hear what you're saying, but, yeah, those AoEs will help keep the team alive. So I don't think it's too terribly bad. And then of course on the A1 you're healing all allies. That could be silly. A la,
Okay.
what's his name? Artur?
Yeah. Well, and that's the other thing is the A1, right? It gives us damage, not increased heals. And I feel like that's also a missed opportunity there.
Yeah.
Now, I will say that the increased attack that she brings is going to boost her heals up. But that said, I don't, again, I'm looking at this as a dungeon boss, and I've been the biggest complainer about it's really just go in with a Gina, enemy max HP hits, and I guess I should be happy that enemy max HP hitters have a place in the game, but it's literally they nerf the HP burn, which is what everybody's been using, but they're buffing the enemy max HP hit with this. So I guess the only other thing I will say is get prepared for a progressive chance for Gina again, and maybe another Crizia one, right? Because I think that's the way they're heading down with this. Let's go to Gestal.
Yeah, I actually think this first form is pretty interesting. As you said earlier, a bit like Siegfried, but you can control it as opposed to waiting for it to like have to proc. If you want to go into that second form, obviously we'll go into that more later, but I don't think as strong in the second form as Siegfried. But I ultimately I think it's going to come down to how hard she hits.
Okay.
I think, but there's interesting stuff here. Obviously, new buff. I think she's got on the other form, she's got the new debuff that kind of counteracts it. And I think she's interesting. Like, if there's a chance that getting her not be like an impossible chance, I'm definitely going to go for it for sure. Be great to have. I think it'd be great to have her.
So I just want to clarify that they're both buffs. There's no debuffs that she places other than the weaken on her second form. So both Fortify and Shatter are both buffs.
Oh, they're buffs. Oh, yeah. Okay, they're buffs. Yeah. Sorry, yeah. But they're like opposites, right?
Right. Correct.
Yeah.
Ken, what about you, man? What do you think about the main form?
I think Plarium love to do that, by the way. So they looked at our previous tactics we use on the event dungeon. People are just one-shot with Gina. So they are preparing that, right? They was a little bit prepared for the queen, right? She was a cutting mechanic. And they look again, or most used comp, most easiest comp, and they designed this lady, Mythical. So they give her damage reduction, 60%, I believe, right? Let me check. There's going to be
45%.
No, passive skill.
Passive.
They say 15% less damage for
15%.
alive.
Yeah.
So here's the
60%,
thing.
yeah, because it's 4.
If you kill the entire team, she's going to switch to 4, which is more than 1. If you just try to nuke her, she's going to be about 60% less damage received. So Gina, I don't know that's going to be work. Hopefully it will work. I have a double answer, I think we are going to be a little bit struggle on this boss, but that's it though. Like, I think they literally designed her as an event dungeon boss. I don't think she's going to help us. Yeah, I don't think she's going to help us on the arena. Like the Gestal said. So because of this damage reduction she have, maybe we can build her as a nuker for the second form, So if all champion are alive, she's going to take less damage, right? It's going to be hard to kill her in the arena. And then they can nuke us, but she will still survive because of the damage reduction. Then she can switch to the second form on the arena-wise. And if she's hitting hard, that could be on the way to use her in the arena, I believe. But beside that, I believe she's a event dungeon boss. Probably going to be stay there. Yes, looks like we are going to obtain this champion, but I don't think that's worth it. But again, we don't know her multiplier yet, guys. I'm just judging on the paper.
Okay. So I do feel it's pretty fair to say that Gina is definitely going to be the one to shine, especially because of his A3 giving us the 30%. And again, if you have more than one, you're pretty much solid along with Cruelty. I don't think the Fortify is going to be big enough to
not 45, passive skill.
Oh, the passive skill, sorry. Well, Fortify does the salvage, but yeah. But even at that, I mean, we can only hit up to 10% of their max HP. I don't really know at 300 crit damage, how much does Gina really need to be able to hit at max for their HP, right? I think
case can also. By the way,
What is it? Cat's
case.
case as well. Yep,
Yeah.
that's true too. So
I have a question
don't-
for you guys, by the way. So
Go ahead.
while we're still talking about the first one, what do you guys thinking the minion going to be looks like? So
You know, I
she's
was
from
gonna-
Demon's Blood. Are we going to see Carnage?
I'm
Unity
thinking
champion, Vulcanos?
I'm thinking Volcanos because they have been with the Unity champions, right?
Yeah, on the Factory World. Art not.
So
Mythical as well on the
I'm
hard
thinking Commodus maybe, right?
Oh my god.
Duchess. We'll probably get Duchess in there.
I'm feeling with
Volcanos,
that.
Lamasu. I think Lamasu might be in there. You never know. I think it's gonna be quite. They could even go with the cat. That would be a pain,
God.
honestly.
Oh god.
That would be a pain. I'm sitting here talking about how I feel like it's gonna be so easy. But yeah, Sauce says it'll be 4 cats. God.
Kids.
Who knows? Maybe a Prince Kaimar, right? Again, the speed I think is probably going to be one of the bigger things I'm looking for. I think the last one we had Kaj at like 305, so we definitely have to
That's
be
correct.
faster than that. That said, again, I'm still kind of excited for it. I still think the enemy max HP hitters are going to outshine almost everybody else, although they didn't really nerf the poison damage that she would get, so maybe poison might be the way to go. Form 2. All right, so this
with the arachnid. I'm sorry, I was just saying with the arachnid thing too, that could get real interesting. With the poisons. Can I say just one final thought on the first form that I just thought of?
Yep.
So I just got my Empress and was playing around with it. Did a whole video on, believe it or not, Norog and Python, just to show off Norog after his little buff. It's and it's actually pretty effective because you're just basically keeping them alive so the Empress can get some, or the team can get some kills. And when those kills happen, you're protecting your team. And let those necrosis stacks hit really hard and start just taking out the enemy team. So like on this form, again, with the fortify, the unkillable on the A3, and that passive effect that Ken was talking about. Now in this case, it would be 45% if you were using this person in arena or something like that. But pair that with a Python or a Norog or whatever, and you got even more damage reduction. You could do some tanky stuff in the future. I know we're thinking about this as a boss, but if people do get this champion on their team, there could be some uber turtle shells going on here, and letting Empress's necrosis do some work.
correct me if I'm wrong, but on the last event dungeon, it wasn't everybody that was from the Knights Revenant, right? They did have another champion there that was not a Knights Revenant. So could they put in Empress? If they do, we can all thank Sus for that one. Just saying. All right, so let's get into Form 2 over here, right? So we've got Destroyer of All. Attacks one enemy 3 times. If the attack kills an enemy, deals pure damage to all other enemies. If all other enemies are not bosses or minions, the amount of the pure damage dealt is equal to 30% of the initial target's max HP. And then if it is a boss, it is 10% of the max HP instead. And then this attack cannot be critical. The A2 attacks all enemies before attacking, steals all buff from all enemies whose attack is lower than this champion's. It cannot be resisted. Also places a 25% weaken debuff on all enemies for 2 turns for whose anybody's attack is equal to or less than, and this cannot be resisted as well, which I don't understand why we have the ignore resistance in here, but hey. Then the A3 places a shatter. Shatter increases the ignore defense that you can have. Yep. And a 30% increased crit rate on the champion for 3 turns. Places a true fear on anybody whose attack is equal to or lower than this champion and cannot be resisted. Again, not sure why we have ignore resistance here, but we'll take it. And then that's on a 4-turn cooldown. Gives us an extra turn on top of that. And then the passive, which I think was probably the worst part about this skill kit, deals 15% more damage for each dead ally. Each critical hit boosts this champion's turn meter by 10%. Wow, That was a lot. That said, I like the A2 and the A3. We don't really need to build any sort of accuracy for it, and she's going to be very, very stat hungry. The passive, I'm not a huge fan of the first part. I mean, if her first form is they're all dead, chances are, again, she's going to die first. As for the A1, I think it's pretty solid. I think they kind of designed this so it doesn't break game modes like Hydra. But that said, let's jump to Ken first. What are we thinking about Form 2?
So ignore resistance part for the arena wise going to be work, but obviously on the event dungeon she's probably going to be like over 10,000 attack because she's the boss, right? So we cannot resist that basically, guys. Because our attack going to be lower than her. But in the arena, it's possible some champion attack can be higher than her. You know, obviously not to sport champion, they cannot resist that.
Siegfried.
Yeah. In the first bomb, she's defensive. Her passive skill defensive. Her buff is the defensive. Second form is opposite. She's offensive. Even the buff she's casting is increasing her ignored defense effect, which is the shatter buff. So again, like this is a DPS form. It's hard to judge it without knowing the multiplier. But I believe if we are going to nuke the enemy team, we are going to face this form because she's going to automatically switch this form, and it's going to be annoying. Like she's going to remove all of her buff. She's going to cast a weaken debuff to us. At the same time, A3 skill True Fear. Like True Fear, maybe Shamal can be work, but if she's also hitting hard, that's definitely going to create some problem on the event dungeon. Which is event dungeon, we need to farm for the pinpoint sets, and nobody going to do manual that. So we need to somehow make a auto team. Hopefully, Plarium think about that.
I mean, they're gonna take their time to let us know how all of this is gonna work. But I do want to say that it is not. We can block it. So if we have block debuffs, so Electrion, any of those other champions that have guaranteed or protected buffs, we really wouldn't worry about the True Fear. And then, you know, Stone Skin as well too. But I do say, I do like the fact that even if she's on a go first team, she's not going to be able to strip the buffs off of us, because I feel like you're probably going to want to open up with the A3, then go into the A2. So chances of getting the True Fear put on you are going to be a little more difficult. But that said, PJ, what are you thinking, man?
They bring up a good point. You have to make sure if the multipliers are always like depending on how they are, the damage dealers are going to vary. As far as the skills, it looks pretty good. I like like I said in the first form and the second form, the attack kind of helps each other out. So if she has more attack, then she won't get resisted. You don't need accuracy, which is good and bad for arena. Obviously, polymorph. You're going to have to be careful about that because, again, she's going to always land it. Could be bad. I think the A1 is pretty cool. Hopefully it hits, like, I think it could hit pretty hard. As far as the boss, she's going to be pretty annoying with the extra turns. And then with the passive as well, like you guys mentioned, she's probably going to be the last one alive. So she's going to be hitting harder, stealing more turn meter. But I like the kit, and I do like the if you have more attack, then all these things can't be resisted. I think she could be pretty strong in this second form, especially if she can hit hard.
Okay, Zero.
Yeah, I think her whole thing is keep your team alive in that first form, right, and just let them do what they're supposed to do. And then if that team falls flat, and she's the last one alive, she flips into this and she just goes all out. Yeah, I'm gonna kill you, type thing. Because correct me if I'm wrong, but the passive on the other one, when it flips her form, it will give her the extra turn, right? So she basically gets to cut in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she'll get the extra turn right away. She'll be just like Siegfried.
So she'll basically get a cut in and then be able to do one of these skills, whichever one is the most important for her to get the damage out to get the win, right? So I'll be honest, she seems a little bit scary Again, I didn't read the kit going into it, and of course, listen to you brilliant minds study this and talk about it. Yeah, it could be interesting. I'm kind of want her now. I kind of want her now after I did the whole working it with Empress thing. So yeah, she's scary.
Okay. Gestal, what about you?
Yeah, like we've kind of been saying, I feel like if she's gonna hit, like, say she hits like Sigfrun in his first form, but her in her second form, like, she's instantly viable, right? Because you're basically kind of what Zero just said, like, you're gonna sit there and kind of hold the fort down in that first form, and if that doesn't work out, we got a last chance shot to like kind of one shot the whole team, kind of like an Anorn or like a Sigfrun. Yeah, if she hits hard in this form, I think could be really strong. Could be a fun champ to use. If not, then I don't really understand what she's doing because like like a Sigfrun can swap over and revive. Like let's say Lazarius, like he's got a revive but still can do damage. Like she's not bringing a revive. She's bringing the unkillable for your team, but that's how long is that going to really work for you? So yeah, like she's really just got to bring the deeps. I think in the second form, I think that's what it's all about.
Okay. So
yeah, and then just one thing as a Sigfrun owner, the worst thing I hate about when he flips his form and does his thing is the control. So your fears, your stuns, your freezes, things like that, block him from being able to take that turn and revive the team. So it's possible, just going into this fight from a boss perspective, you may need to bring some sort of control that you can put on her at the end when she's the last one left alive. So just a thought.
So here's the thing. We all, or almost all, have a champion that counters her. Our lovely boy Marius here. Once once she transforms over and he's built with enough accuracy, he's going to land that enfeebled debuff, and she's not going to be able to do much of anything, to be quite honest. And so
depends. If it's only a one turn, she's an extra turn. She can get rid of it.
That's true.
Enfeeble not 100% though. It's not 100%.
That is true. But if you land it, this form isn't as scary. So do you come in and play with the chances of them landing that and then trying to, I feel like maybe we should have, if she's supposed to be a counter to some of these go first teams, maybe we should have something like on the base form that protects her from the enfeeble, like a guarantee or a protected block debuffs or something. What do you guys think about that, Ken?
I mean, doesn't Marius counter every single mythical that transforms as a counter to his second form, or a nuke in the second form?
Pretty much. Yeah, he can counter the Sigfrun,
Yeah.
Same for her, yeah. I mean, but we cannot count that
really.
to build.
Because Sigfrun,
he counters Sigfrun.
Well, Sigfrun doesn't really do damage on his second form. He's got the block debuffs and he revives, and he
swaps over. You A2, he swaps over, and then he A1, like Marius A1 and kills him.
But he's got the block damage.
Immunity, the block damage.
He's got block
damage if his passive works. If his passive works.
Right. Right. So if he gets nuked and is brought down, he gets. I mean, he'll eventually kill him, but he'll go over into his second form. He'll revive.
I think Marius counters every mythical. I don't think there's anything special, like anything different about this one.
Yeah.
Okay. But maybe should we have that, protected block debuffs on that mat, on that case?
I think the extra turn is what is there. Sorry.
Well, every mythical gets the extra turn.
No, the extra turn on the A3. So you just get rid of the enfeeble and you're good to go.
Yeah.
Fair point.
Most people run Marius on the defense, so you're not getting the 2-turn enfeeble unless you go down the.
Same for the Embrace, by the way. He switched to form. Let's say he got enfeeble, unless the Master Extra proc obviously on the enemy Marius. So you can use the A3 extra turn, enfeeble gone, and nuke them. Yeah.
Okay.
But again, we cannot count this Enfeeble going to land on her and we can build a team around of that. That's not logical.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, so overall then on her, if they were to do the guaranteed, do you still feel that they should have her, as Zero said, about 120? Ken said, I think, what, 110? Do you guys still feel that your numbers of the guaranteed is still worth it for her? Ken?
I will do for 30. That's the maximum I can do.
30? Okay.
So, 30. You take it or I'm leaving.
Deal or no deal.
Deal or no
Yeah,
deal?
deal or, yeah, exactly.
says
I don't think she's worth
30.
it, by the way. I don't think she's worth it.
Okay. I mean, I do think that she will be fun to play with. As an event boss herself, she is going to make the event dungeon a little more challenging than what we've gotten. But I agree. Nell has been my number one most wanted for a while now. And I don't think she would take precedence over Nell, to be quite honest. Zero, do you still think she's worth 120 for a guaranteed?
Yeah. Again, I've got this fresh team in my mind, and I'm looking at this going, God, if I had her, it would just, obviously take out Norog out of that team, put her in. Jeez. Because Embers and Marius can just do what they do, and you protect them, and then worst case scenario, she's the last one alive, she flips over and then lays a smackdown. So yeah, I kind of want her after seeing this. Now, would I spend $500 because I'm only sitting on 25 primals? Would I spend $500 on this? I don't think so. But
that's for some people, that's
crazier
like
things have happened.
A sixth of a mortgage payment for some people. Gestal, what about you?
Not well. Again, I guess we'll have to see numbers and whatnot. But yeah, like I wouldn't want to drop 120 primals on her. Like the only thing that's really enticing there, I guess, is you are dropping 120 primals and maybe you get something else along the way, right? But for her specifically, no, I don't think she's worth it.
Okay.
Like as we just see the kit, I don't think she's worth it.
Okay. PJ, what about you?
Looking at her, she is interesting because she gives herself the shatter and the 30% increased crit rate, so you can kind of give her less crit rate. Is for 3 turns, which is nice. She gives her extra turns, so for 2 turns she'll have the crit rate and the extra ignore defense, so you can kind of maybe get away with not building an ignore defense set on her. I don't know, I feel like you could build her a few different ways and still make her maybe work. It really depends on the multipliers though and how hard she hits. She's cool. As far as primals, I don't know. I feel like that like 90 to 110 mark would be good. I think that's real. Like, I think that would be what they should do. Will they do that? No, they'll probably do it higher. I think that'd be a good mark. It's just primals are so hard to get, and I don't know if I would personally do it. I wouldn't probably spend that much.
Well,
but I think that would be good to
not,
like a realistic number.
They're not that hard to get. It's, you just go right in here and then
just buy it.
Right,
yeah, no, I don't.
And then,
by the way, can we talk about how a single one is $5? I was just looking at this. A single one is $5. The 4-pack, it's a 4-pack for 25, and then an 8-pack for 50.
Hey, I don't know what you're complaining. Plarium already told you they were $7, almost $8 a piece when they first were released, and they gave you a 40% off. Stop your whining. No, I agree with you, man.
Pound sand on this one. If they think people are gonna, I'm sure people will do it if they did it. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Of course, I've seen some people that are already sitting on a few hundred primals because every time the pack comes up, they buy it, right? So that said, I do have a strong feeling that we're going to be able to get her as a guaranteed. I think I honestly would love to see it as more maybe like a deck event, and I can see it behind the Soul Stones, which is one of the main reasons why I will not be opening, at least on my main account tomorrow, unless I decide to do something bad, which you never know. Temptation is always there. That said, let's talk a little bit about hard mode faction wars. Now, we did touch up on this last week, and this week will be the first week that we actually start unlocking the bosses. And I will say, trying to fight the boss and killing them within 100 turns is not as easy as I thought it was, right?
It's ridiculously hard.
You know, and as we go further on, it goes up to 150 and 200. Now, chat, let me ask you guys, Bannerlords, or I think, what did we have? We had Demon Spawn, Bannerlords, and there was another
Shadowkin.
one or two, Shadowkin, that
Shadowkin.
unlocked the first boss. Did you guys have any difficulty taking down and getting that 3-star on the first boss with the 100 turns? Let's throw this first one up to Ken.
For Shadowkin and the Demon Spawn, I didn't. I was a very well-built Carnage on the Demon Spawn, and the Lamasu, Kaimar, you know, like lots of great champion I with on this faction. So Carnage basically one-shot the wave. Then I reset his cooldown. I one-shot the second wave. And the boss wave, yeah, boss is annoying. He has strip ability. That was a poison boss. He's custom poison sensitivity with the poison debuff. It's actually hitting quite hard. I mean, poison damage is actually like, he doesn't have a relics, by the way, but still hitting hard. And Cleanser would be nice to wave it, but I managed to finish it. Shadowkin was also easy. We have a Mika game. I'm lucky enough to have a Harima and the Michinagi there, so it was a little easy for me. Bannerlord cannot say the same thing. I have a DPS champion, sure, we have a Rathalos. Daily log. He was Fusion. No, he was Daily log. He was Daily login.
Free champion. Yeah.
Yeah. Quintus, another pretty great DPS champion, you know. I have both of them. They are like a little bit inventory gear, not like super OP build. We also have a Ronda actually. I didn't use her, but on the support champion wise, I'm a little bit slack in there. Like I don't have a Marichka. I have a Kaja, but she only have one turn block debuff, which is not really helping. I try a little bit. Let's say I had to save my skill cooldown to prepare myself for the second wave and the boss wave. Minions was annoying. I wasn't know the minion on the left side custom provoke debuff to your ally, but at the same time he's casting himself a reflect damage buff. So yeah, like I wasn't know that, and so he hurt me, you know. Then I try again. I decide to kill him first. This time I literally only attack him with my DPS champion. And after I killed him, I killed the minion on the right side, and the boss was easy. I actually managed to nuke the boss with Rathalos A2 skill before he managed the HP swap. But yes, I did take like around 70 turn, I believe. So 100 is the maximum, right? This is quite difficult for the most of the player. I have to say that.
You didn't use your Aislinn? He's immune. Everybody that's under a shield buff is just immune to any sort of CC.
I don't have Aislinn, man. No, I didn't jump like you, you know, so.
I guess there's two reasons why I was really happy to get him, right? I knew that hard mode faction was going to need him.
Oh, yeah,
And I will say, for anybody out there that said Taurus Marichka were going to be really good and I was going to abuse my double Taurus Marichka, no, I actually had to rebuild my Stultus and get this 82% crit rate because I was killing the shit too fast and wasn't being able to land the stuns or anything else. So Taurus Marichka didn't get a lot of play in this at all, to be quite honest, guys. That said, Zero, what about you, man? Did you have a lot of tough times trying to get the boss down?
Yeah, so it's mixed on this. So again, I chose to defeat the bosses whenever I got them, and I got them like 8 out of 11 times, 5 or 6 of those in a row. So I went back to normal and did some of that. So I shot myself in the leg in terms of progression, but I did get them last night or the day before. And the other thing that I chose to do, and I think this is actually a really good thing, and Blazing, you just marked what I just did, was I intentionally only put accuracy in my Great Hall thingy in my area of development. So obviously I have the tokens to go and do it. I'm sitting on like 65,000 on those, but yeah, I actually skipped that and just put it on the accuracy, and I found it easier for me to complete stages 1 through, let's just say 4 or 5, because I didn't do the crit damage and crit rate. And yeah, I did what you said on stage 2 and put Tarasa in, and he just killed stuff way too quickly. So I had to actually nerf my team to slow it down. So anyway, I think without the ignore defense and the crit damage, it's going to make it really hard to hit the 100. And so when I was doing them last night, I was like, this is next to impossible. I almost got there with the Banner Lords, and then it like health swapped me or something like that. I was like, oh yeah, so that's not going to happen. So that being said, I think my plan is, since I invested that way with the Great Hall area bonuses, I'm going to continue some of the ones that I shot myself in the foot on and make sure I get them up to the boss. And then at that time, I think I'll invest in the Great Hall, or you know what, I might just move on and just keep going. And then once I completely get to 21, I'll go back and say, okay, now it's time to, invest in the Great Hall. Again, I'm slowing down my progression doing that, but it's making it a little bit easier on those easier stages, in my opinion, to do it that way.
Okay. Gestal, what about you? You have a sick friend, don't you?
Yeah, I haven't done the ones for today yet. I'm going to do it on stream, so if you want to come by the stream later, come check it out. I actually do both of them today, like before reset and after reset. But I'm trying to max it as quickly as possible. So I'll take my time for each of the fights, make sure I fit it. I'll double, triple check that I fit all the requirements, make sure everyone's well alive, like no one shot or anything. And I've kind of gotten through it all pretty easily. So far, I've only done 2 bosses. Carnage, his A1 like destroyed the boss in the second form. I couldn't believe it. It was almost one-shot the boss. And my Carnage isn't built like anything crazy. So yeah, I don't know. I was a little shocked about how hard they were hitting the bosses. I thought they might be a little more durable. But it is the first
still
one.
Early on. It's still early on.
It's still the first one.
I'm going to save you from yourself and tell you
Well,
that it's still early on.
I'm not trying to be cocky or anything. I should pull the reaction off of the stream, because I couldn't believe how hard he hit him. Like 80% or something on an A1. It was crazy. So,
wow.
But yeah, went through the 2 bosses. I think there were 2 of the easier bosses so far. I think the ones that are gonna be tough are the boss that steal buffs and heals or something like that, or swaps buffs and health.
So
like that.
the Banner Lord one is the one that swaps buffs and HP, and I will say that was kind of tough.
That one's tough. Yeah, so I'll be doing that one in here in a couple hours, trying it out. Yeah, so yeah, I think those will be the toughest.
Yeah. Chat, while we get PJ's response here, let me know, how many stars are you currently into hard mode Faction Wars? I'm currently sitting at 249, and that was because on the demon spawn, a poison ticked, and I ended up losing that. I was so pissed because I needed to get one more. But PJ, what about you, man? Have you had any difficulties with the bosses yet?
So far, so good. For myself, I have heard people say the opposite, that they've been having a tough time beating some of the stages. Visually, I've been liking the visuals of the bosses. They look really cool. The green boss, the purple boss. The purple boss was pretty annoying. It also has like a passive where it can change like buffs into debuffs and debuffs into buffs or something. It like changes to the opposite, which procced a few times, so that could be a little bit annoying. But yeah, Taurus took down the boss pretty well. Carnage, again, shout out Carnage. You guys do not have Carnage, definitely recommend trying to push him. He is so clutch for the demon spawn. He makes it so easy. So if you guys are struggling in that one, I'd highly recommend trying to push Carnage. And then yeah, Shadowkin went pretty smooth. Mikage. Most people have Ninja, who just destroys bosses, so he helps out a lot there. So yeah, so far so good. I haven't missed a star yet, but definitely can see it getting tougher here in the next few days. Some of the higher stages.
Okay. So I guess all you guys, with the exception of Zero, are sitting at 251, as opposed to me and Zero.
I think
252. Okay, so
yeah,
I'm missing 3 stars. Okay, so that demon spawn one cost me quite a bit because I had somebody dead, so that's why I didn't get anything for it. But no, I should have gotten at least one.
Yeah, and just to give you an update, I have 3 keys to today on the Lizardmen, and I'm at 197 currently with 3 to go.
Wow.
So
okay.
I'm only like 40 or 50 behind y'all.
40 or 50 behind a couple of days.
Yeah, that's
Um,
fine.
Yeah, I'm wondering where else
Oh, it's
I
like
missed
Ogre
it.
and you missed 3. Demon Spawn, actually, you have 27 out of 27. I have 27 as well. Looks like Ogren, I have
Maybe
18. You have 15 on Ogren.
okay, so yeah. Okay, so it was Ogren that I missed the 2. Where else am I missing one? 27,
No, I think you
18.
missed all 3 on Ogren. Demon Spawn, I have
Yeah.
27.
Ogrin has a 18, my bad.
Yeah,
18.
Ogren is 18.
So what did I screw up on Ogren? I'll have to. Well, it opens up in 4 days, so I guess we'll find out then. Maybe I'll have to go back and clear those stages. I don't know. That said, do you still have any concerns as we move further up into hard mode faction wars about any other challenges? I know we were talking off camera a little bit, and Ken made a comment about one specific faction and a champion that you're going to have that you thought you'll never have to build, but if you have her, you're going to have to build her. Ken, what do you got?
So bomb mission for me was super difficult for the Demon Spawn, and we just looked like, is there any other faction has the bomb recruitment? Yes, Ogre tribe. So War Mama time, guys. We need to build her. There's some epic champion as well. We can use it. Same for the Demon Spawn. So thankfully I have them. I didn't fit them because I wasn't a soul drinker, so that was super difficult for me to do it with the no book, no mastery Shazar. But yeah. And the Ogre tribe, I think, going to be a little bit more difficult than the Demon Spawn because Demon Spawn is a loss of cooldown reset champion. Like one of them, Free Lamaso. Ogre tribe, who's going to reset her cooldown.
Well,
So that's
I
my
mean,
pain.
I'm kind of a little upset that you don't have 3 soul drinkers. I mean, Jay built 3 soul drinkers in a Gaius, when bombs were coming out. So it should be pretty easy for you. You didn't
No,
build
Gaius. No. I'm talking of Ogre tribes.
I know, but what I'm saying is Demon Spawn, you could have built yourself. I mean, Jay's built 3 of the soul drinkers.
Huh. I don't know, man. I never looks like needed. So
But I agree. I think for this faction, right, we're looking at it, it's going to be very challenging to see the bombs, right? So we go Organ Tribe, bombs.
you can filter in the game.
Do I have? Oh, I do have War Mother. Yeah. So there's not a lot of other champion. I mean, Grunch Killjoy's got bombs, right? So you'll probably have to use him. And the thing with this one is, which one?
Galcut has bombs too.
Okay. And the thing with this one is they have
real
to
problems.
die by
Yeah.
the bombs. They can't die
That's the
by
real
poison
pain.
or anything else. So
it's not
And there's
applying the
this
bombs.
wave.
exactly.
There's the Alma.
So it'll be quite interesting. And I will say that you don't have to, as Bronco is just actually beating me to the punchline here, you don't actually have to level them to 6-star and master them and everything. You can still use them at level 50. I did that with a couple of champions, especially on my ult account when I was pushing on that. So Zero, do you have any of the challenges that you think are going to be difficult?
Yeah, I can't think of anything right off the top of my head. I mean, some of those are just weird. You're gonna have to go back and build some of those random epics or whatever to help you do that and put them in gear set. I do think the bombs one is concerning, because of you can't put a gear set on for that, right? Where free sleep, poison, even heals, even turn manipulation or turns cooldown. Excuse me, you can do that with like reflex, right? So I think bombs will make it probably be hard, but yeah, I don't necessarily. I'm not worried about those too terribly much. It's really just getting the kills on that 100 turn again without the crit damage and the ignore defense. That's tough to do.
You could always
You
go
can also do like
50%.
half of it. Yeah.
Yeah, you could go 50% in.
Yeah.
I will say one that was really challenging for me on my ult account, especially because I do not have Pytheon or Necmo, so there was really minimal ways for me to heal, was the Lizard Men trying to get the, 500,000 healing, right? I had to use Venomage with the debuffs, and then I had to bring in, who was it? Aox, right? I had to sit there and I had to stack. I mean, this probably took me 45 minutes of trying to make sure that I had enough healing before I got to stage 3. That was tough. So makes you really appreciate Pytheon when you have them, right? I don't think I've used them on my main account forever. And then, when I got on my ult, I was like, yeah, no, I got this. It's pretty easy. And yeah, no, I did not have it. PJ, what about you?
There's a few. Well, looking down, I'm still worried about the don't land weak hits. I think that one's going to be super annoying unless you build out like an all void team. But even then, that's not going to be ideal. I mentioned this. Death dealer. Yeah, I just pulled a bunch of death dealers. I mentioned this off stream, but this is kind of my own fault. But I don't have Luria for Dark Elves for the freeze one, so I had to do Vizix and a Frostbite and Frost set, provoking them and counterattack or hitting her, and then I had a Duradil of a 40 just with the A1. So kind of my fault for not having Luria, but that one was pretty interesting. I had to think outside the box for that one. I have noticed that I've been able to use like level 40 or 50 champions on some of the easier stages if I can bring enough support. So I've kind of saved some resources and not leveled up a champion for one room just for that. So I just been like kind of trying them at 40 or 50 and it's been working okay. I don't think I'll be able to do that at the higher stages, but if you have a good enough account at the lower stages, you might not have to like use all the resources to level them up. You might be able to get at the lower stages or lower levels.
Okay, you didn't have a Ray?
Yeah, no Ray, no Luria, Duradil level 40 and Vizix.
I never realized that her A3 was on a 6-turn cooldown. Plarium, what the hell? This is 2020. Well, I booked her.
Okay,
She used to be my campaign farmer back in the day. But Plarium, what the hell? 7 turns? Oh,
Yeah, it's like a
was
riser, right?
that was painful, man. That was painful. Gestal, what about you?
I think the bomb ones is definitely going to be frustrating. You're going to have to, even with Commodus, I found like these guys have so much HP, so much more HP than Commodus had. He wasn't just like dropping the bombs like you would in Arena and just everybody goes kaput. You actually had to get some damage put out on him and then drop the bomb. So you kind of really gotta manage that. Not that it's like the hardest thing in the world. It's just like you gotta play it smart. I would also like if they have a reviver. We have a kind of an ongoing joke about Elva. Like, don't kill the Elva because you want her to like revive someone to like maybe keep getting more going. And then it's like, kill the Elva because now she's cleansing everything and screwing it all up. So, you got to kind of play some of that, I think, and try to knock out whatever the condition is in that kind of first or second wave if you can, and then just blow through it on the third. So the bombs, that's a tough one. There's one with like no buffs or no debuffs or something. That could be a bit challenging. But I think that ultimately, I think the bosses will probably be the toughest. I think 21 will probably be the toughest.
I
I
have
got
to
another
agree.
one.
Okay.
Well, depending on what those stages are or what they have in the stages, but there's one where it's like don't let them heal. I could see them having like people heal off their A1 or something, which could be really annoying.
Yep. So you'll
There
have
was
to.
a Rakka, I believe. She's custom from her passive skill when she got
Yeah,
the
it's like,
Oh,
well,
so you gotta. At least they don't have masteries, right? So it's not like every time we heal, they would heal. So that's good. But that
Shadow
heal. Shadow heal. Yeah, exactly.
Good idea for Polarium for the next level.
Ken, no.
at the back.
Again, though, I still feel like we need to have a little more clarification, like especially for stage 20, keep all your champions above 75% HP. I would love to know, is it if they drop below it or is it at the end of the level? Do I get penalized for that? So I think we still need to get stage 21 after hitting stage 100. I thought, was going to be pretty easy. I'm like, I'll just smash right through them. I do see this, if they're a lot more tankier, a lot more faster, to become a problem. But we will keep track of this every single week until we get ourselves our new Mythical, which we will touch up on her. I just don't want to take the enjoyment until we actually start playing with her, right? So the last thing...
Yo, can you ban him real quick in Discord or in chat?
Ban who?
Poop Shoot Master.
I believe you guys have. Yeah, you. Oh, sorry.
You see what he said in chat?
Yes, I'm reading it. Thank you, Sus. I appreciate you. That said, sorry about that, guys.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Can I jump in and say one thing real fast? Polarium, like, I hope in future game modes they find good, challenging ways to create content that's not, oh, we're gonna give you this situation that you have to do like this. Again, I enjoy these situations, but then I feel like in some of these waves, and they did it in Sin City too, it's like, oh, here are the 2 champions in this faction that can do this one thing. However, the first wave, 4 of the 5 champions are weak affinity to those or whatnot. And I can't remember exactly which one that is, but like, think Ray, for example. Like, she's the only one legendary that has AoE freeze, and they throw in 4 force affinity because I think she's magic affinity in the first wave, for example. And you weak hit, obviously you don't land the debuff. I really wish they would get away from the whole affinity weakness thing with challenges like this. That's my one little piece I want to say. That, and again, it's in Sin City, it's not that big a deal because, you know, you can kind of power through and still win the fight, even if your whole team dies. As long as one person wins the fight, is, you know, good to go. But like with these, again, I'm enjoying it. I like it. I'm having fun doing it. But those are just extra annoying where it's like, oh, for the 5 hits weak hit, let me reset it and try again and just pray to the RNG Jesus that we don't land weak hits when we need to get this debuff out type thing. So I wish they would come up with other areas to make it challenging that don't necessarily say, oh, well, we know this one's a magic affinity champion and we're going to give you 4 force, go for it.
Right. I agree. I think the the affinity issue, especially in Faction Wars, I think it's in channels, like you said, it's definitely okay, but in Faction Wars, it's definitely going to be a little bit of a problem, especially if you aren't able, if it kicks you that hard, right? With what's in channels, we can make it up for it with stun sets, with some other stuff, or power through it. But yeah, everything else, it's going to be, for Faction Wars, it's going to be tough. That said, we got something that was requested for us to discuss. And this would be about Siege. Now, I'm going to let you guys in on a little secret here. Last Siege, we went up against Bronco and his clan. Now, Bronco and I have gone up against each other in 2 competitive game modes, one being Hydra. I believe, was it Hydra or Chimera? I think it was either one of those 2. And then actually it was Chimera. I remember that. It was Chimera. And then the last one was Siege. So they whooped our butts, not by much, right? But they whooped our butts in Chimera. So on Siege, they used a different strategy, which baited the hell out of us. And I think this probably has to go, shout out to Christopher, because he's the one that does their Siege planning. But on day 1, we had, I want to say we were close to like 2,000 points ahead of them. So me being me, I'm being cocky, and I'm like, yo, Bronco, what's up, bro? What happened? You guys are falling out on Siege? And we literally had our whole map. We were clean. No losses, no nothing. They had barely just opened up the the first 4 or 5. Turns out there's a strategy going around where people or clans are waiting till the very last minute or the second day to get you comfortable in winning Siege. Guys, he didn't just destroy us. They devoured us. I come back day 2 and I'm looking and I'm like, holy shit, we're like 1,000 points behind him. What the hell happened? I'm a little exaggerating on the numbers here, but yeah, they actually did a pretty good job at psyching us out, making us think that we're going to win this, which was kind of like, okay, you know what? We don't need to use our best champions on some of the tougher teams they have. Now, that said, have you guys seen that happen to you or anybody else where day 1, people are just like, nah, okay, cool. But then day 2, they come back and they destroy you, especially if they're, starting to tank their rebattle scrolls because they're so comfortable that they're going to win, right? Because that is a strategy that is used. Christopher says, certainly all was intentional. That said, let's talk to Ken first. Ken, what about you?
First of all, someone asking question on the YouTube, like, does the hard faction war bonuses working for the hard faction war? Yes, my friend,
Yes.
you can upgrade it. Yeah, there is a tactic like that. I know that one as well. So it's comeback is real, you know. Be careful. This game is a lots of sniper, guys. Don't get sniped, so don't get cooked.
I got sniped by Bronco. But yeah, no, you know, I got cocky that day and I was like, yo, bro, what's going on? He's like, we're just slow starters. Don't worry about it. It'll be a good match. And yeah, no, it was definitely a good match where they destroyed us. Because even in my, you know, clan Discord, we were talking, we're like, oh yeah, we got this. And then I was literally posting on there. I was like, guys, if we lose to Bronco, I'm going to leave. And I was just joking, but you know, it was, I was totally surprised. I have not seen that strategy. I didn't even, you know, I figured Siege was just go get your battles in and, you know, may the best win. But I never thought about waiting till the very last minute to just get all your fights in. So that was a pretty good strategy. And shout out to Bronco and Christopher and the whole, I think they're part of your cluster, PJ, right?
OBV.
Yeah. So that's it. PJ, what about you? Do you guys use this strategy?
You played yourself, Blazin'. Yeah,
I did.
Kind of. I've seen a decent amount. The other thing is, I think people wait to do attacks to see how many attacks their opponents are doing, and then depending on how many they do, instead of like if they could like wipe the board with them, they'll try to stay lower for points and try to manipulate the system. So I think that's another reason why people might wait till later on. But yeah, I see it pretty often. I think people wait for attacks. It's not like CVC where people go crazy, or even CVC people will kind of wait to the end to snipe. But yeah, I don't be surprised if the first day people and you check and they haven't done any attacks. People be planning as well, a lot of planning, seeing who can hit what, trying to maximize their accounts, make sure like the big accounts aren't wasting their attacks on little accounts or weaker ones where maybe a lower account could hit it. So there's a lot of planning into Siege, and yeah, I actually see a lot of people waiting till the second day or later into the second day to do attacks.
I wonder if, because they don't know what the current roster of the other players or the other clan is going to be, if that's maybe also something they would use to say, okay, well, this is what they can counter down the teams. But I guess maybe that might just be too much effort to go into it. Although I don't know. What you know these guys did, that's a lot of effort on our end. We're just kind of like, you know what, guys, here we go, march straight to the stronghold, take these ones down, and that's it, and go. And my current clan situation, Primo, is good, bro. It's good. That said, Gestal, have you seen this kind of a strategy before?
No, I haven't seen anything like it. I mean, I can't say we typically do anything like a strategy like this. I tend to just wait till the second day to fight to see what opens up. My clan's not like we're not super into Siege. We've kind of combined a couple, like 2 or 3 clans into one now, into my current clan. So we might be going a little bit, might be a little more try hard now. So we'll see how that changes things. But in the past, I tend to just wait because I had one of the stronger accounts in the clan to just see where we, like, hope we could get into the stronghold, and then see, like, basically what fights people are having trouble with, and then I would try to take them out. So that's just how I've been playing it based on the clan I was in. But I've definitely not seen like a strategy where a whole clan just basically waits till like the second day. But yeah, I could see a lot of good points to why that would work out well.
Okay. And I have to agree with you. I think that's kind of where we're at too, is, you know, the stronger accounts will hold back if there's any difficult fights, and then those are the ones that they will attack because they have the better shot. But yeah, that's usually where we stand. So Zero, what about you?
Yeah, I wish this game mode had a better way to communicate with everybody. I I think that would make it a
You
lot
wish
cooler. but-
Raid had a better communication skill, like, you know, I don't know, an in-game chat plurium that we could talk about to each other or whispers. Come on.
yeah, just anything, honestly.
Wait, hold
you know,
on. Ken's got
they-
the answer. Ken's what's the reason why they can't do that?
Server?
There you
Server.
go. All right.
Server, yeah.
server.
Indie company.
Sorry, I totally messed up Zero, and he's like, I have to say something. Let me say it. Go
No,
ahead, Zero.
you're good. No, you're fine. I'm rolling with it. Yeah, what was I saying? No, yeah, I just wish there was a better way to kind of plan and do this mode. I think there's a lot of potential here. I know they're working on changes here. For us, I don't know if I necessarily saw that strategy. It probably was deployed to us, and I just didn't pay attention to it all that much. Our clan leader has given me 4 keys to do it, so I try to get my attacks in Tuesday nights. That's when I stream, but you know, I will wait, or I'll try to take on some of the harder fights that I could possibly take on, just, you know, to benefit the clan, with some of my champions and my builds and stuff, right? But that being said, yeah, I mean, if this strategy was deployed against us, I wouldn't have noticed it. And, you know, once I get mine in, I'm kind of done. The next day I look back and see if we even got to the mana orb shrines or whatever, and then, you know, throw some extra things to earn some resources for the clan. But other than that, that's just kind of how I treat it. I wish I was more excited about this mode, and maybe with some future changes, they can make it more exciting. I think one of those, if they're listening to this, would be a better way to plan and communicate with the clan and stuff. Yeah.
They got the traps coming, right? Any idea when that's supposed to be dropping?
Not yet, but I'm guessing sometime in, I would say by the end of summer, because they're giving us the event dungeon now. They gave us, what was it? Hard mode faction war. So about every 6 months, they usually try to give us something big to work with. So I think the next rework, we're probably looking at closer to like the end of summer.
Yeah. They teased those.
They did. But they also said, we don't know when it's coming. It's just going to be coming. But that said, I do.
They also said dog is coming soon.
Also, well, speaking of coming soon, sorry, Blazin. The oil mixer was supposed to be summer as well.
Oh yeah.
Yep. And I can't wait because I spent, not to rant off too much, because, you know, you guys know I don't love ranting.
Go.
But I spent 10,000 damn energy, and I only got 80 chaos dust, and it was gone just like that on one champion. And God, does this piss me off. There needs to be a better way for us to get this. There really does, or trade them in. There has to be. But 10,000 energy, just to put it in perspective to you guys, 3,000 gems for 80 dust and gone on one single champion. It just hurts. It just hurts. But that said, so I don't deviate too much from the plan. Go ahead. Do you have something you want to say?
No.
Oh, okay. You know, I do want to give a big shout out to Bronco and the guys. I know that they are very, very active in his Discord. I see them there all the time. I used to join them a lot more than what I was. Just real life sucks right now. And while I'm at work, I can't be on my AirPods being in their Discord and talking to them as much as I would love to. But, you know, being a dad, I don't get that much time. But when I do, I do like to jump in there. So make sure you guys are following Bronco. Bronco, if you don't mind, bro, post a link to your Discord so people can come and hang out and talk to you there. And, you know, it's a very good vibe. It's a very good vibe. And if you ever want to see a really, really just fiery relationship between two people, come in when me and Bronco are both in there, come and find us. You're going to have some time. You're going to have a lot of fun. That said, I want to hear from you guys on what is the biggest thing, or I guess what's the most exciting thing that you're waiting for to come in the next couple of months from Raid. Now that we have MTG that has taken over, they're rolling out a lot more things. What is the number one thing that you guys want to see in the next couple of months coming into the game? Go ahead, Zero.
Give us Chimera area bonuses, damn it.
Oh yeah. Good one.
Like, why is that not in the game? Like, at this point, I get it. It was the new content, but we are now 2 new contents past
Do you want
that, and now
transfer?
we're about to get this invention.
Do you want transfer?
What's the answer?
So after they release the bonus, it's Chimera going to be easier, you know?
Right.
So they are not going to sell the Senna 15X that easier anymore. People not
Okay.
going to be interested in get her anymore.
So
Don't you
we
guys
gotta-
remember, like, bro, how many times we see the 15X Senna before the Chimera release it? And after Chimera release it, pretty much like almost 2 times a month, maybe.
So-
Once
so
a month.
good.
But
So we
so
gotta
good.
see
Yeah.
we gotta see at least another 10 or 15x Sennas before they release that.
yeah.
Well,
Okay.
well, that's fine. I get all that. The whole beef that I have is all the other areas of the game get that. I get that. So if you're using a champion, and now with this Faction Wars Horror is, another perfect example. I don't need to get 500 or 600 accuracy on my champion because I have the area bonus. However, you go into Chimera, you do actually have to build those higher stats. And if you use that same champion in all the other areas of the game, it's just dead stats. I don't need 600 accuracy in Hydra. I only need 350 accuracy in Hydra. What are we doing here? So that's my main beef. I think they need to give it to us, and I get it. Whatever, but get your money in and get it done, and give us the area bonus. It's ridiculous.
Get yourself a Star
that's the only
Sage.
area.
Get yourself a Star Sage. Get yourself a Star Sage and you'll be fine. If you stop complaining, get yourself a Star Sage.
I'm just saying it's in every area of the game. So when a champion goes back to the older areas, they have overkill stats without it. If they granted, it's only 5 champions in
Listen.
Chimera plus a handful, but it's still super annoying.
The Plarium board is looking at it right now. They're watching the podcast, and their response to me was, tell him to mortgage his house, buy $16,000 in primals, and get himself a Star Sage. There's your answer.
Look, start selling primals for $3 a pop. I'll think about it.
Alpha saying buy me Star Sage Blazing.
Yeah.
Ken, what about you?
I mean, I totally agree with Zero, bro. I've been also asking that. I actually asked that question, Zero, on the CC chat. Guess what they said? Nothing. So
Yeah.
I guess it's not coming anytime soon. So also, we don't have this bonus in the event dungeon, by the way. And event dungeon getting harder. So we also need this arena bonus on the event dungeon. But my most excited thing is emojis for the live arena. So and they said that I want emojis on the live
Oh,
arena.
I can't wait for that.
Okay. Emojis in the live arena. PJ, what about you?
Is this things that we want them to do, or things that they said they're going to do, and we're just
They
looking
want
forward
you
to
to.
it?
You want them to do.
Okay. I would love for them to keep looking at the silver cost issue with the gear swapping, either completely remove it or make it like half the month, every other week or something, have free gear removal. I also think they should, again, we talked about 3v3, they should look into 3v3 and make the just like more spots for people to push up into gold 3v3. I think that'd be good. There was one other thing I wanted to mention. I forgot.
Just quality of life with some of their kludgy menus and stuff.
There's another thing.
All right. While you think about it, I'm gonna get a Gestal. And Gestal, what about you?
I'm waiting for hard mode support. Like J-Gig said in his video, that's going to be the best thing they ever do. Hard mode support. Did you guys see that? No,
I did.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. He just like hard mode for everything in the game, right? Because that's kind of been the trend.
It's gonna be hard mode and hard mode
seriously-
pulling shards.
Hard mode shard pulling it. Yeah, no, so yeah, I'm not there's a couple things I guess I would love to see more quality of life. Certainly like basically they need to have RSL helper in the game. I don't know. Like that would make everyone's life easier. Like you can do some stuff on upgrading champs. Like I don't have RSL helper. I've never used it, but I just did the Lydia champ training. And it's like it's insanely tedious. Like there's no way I can set just to upgrade champs to like level 20 instead of fully upgrading them. There's no way to kind of max all that stuff out. I would like quality of life stuff like that for sure. like in the filter, I feel like they need to add a bunch of different things. Like you need to be able to look at items that don't have certain stats, so it'd be easier to kind of clean out things. Like I'd love to be able to search pretty much every item that doesn't have speed and throw it out, because every item's got to have speed now. I don't know, quality life type stuff. I think I'd be happier. Ultimately, though, like I really wish they could just come up with like something new. Like a game, like a new game mode, a new.
Well, they did
I don't
come
know,
up with that
something-
little mini game in the
They should
player and play
do more with
client.
that.
Yeah, like I'm cool with that stuff, right? Like
I think,
I don't know.
I think
like,
they're going to. This was just a test, but I from what
Yeah.
the sense that I got is they're definitely
but
going
I'm saying
to be
for like
expanding
full
on
release,
that.
like their big release this summer is going to be Hard Mode Faction Wars. Like, Grant, I'm having fun with it. I'm not going to say I'm not having fun with it, but it's it's the same thing, right? Like we've had Faction Wars, so Curse City is essentially Faction Wars. So I don't. I just wish they could be a little more inventive. I think they have so much money, man. They got to have one smart game designer there that could like think of a way to use this Unity engine to come up with something cool.
Even if there
Maybe
was,
I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong, but
even if there
I feel
was, they only
yeah,
have
there
one
was.
coder. So
Well,
you know,
yeah, I know. It'd take forever to get done.
4 people, that should be one thing.
yes,
Yeah,
hire
well,
more people.
if I were this new company, MTG, whatever, like honestly, I don't know what these other games do for Plarium. I know they've got like 5 or 6 of them. Like, I feel like you just gotta chop the dead weight and focus on the one that's doing something for you. Maybe I'm wrong. I've never owned a company like that, but like they could really invest into this game and do something really cool with it. The IP is huge now. There's a decent following. So I don't know. That's my sense.
I remember
Good
the other
point.
one I was going to mention.
What's that?
Bring in like friendly live arena battles.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's number one. That should have been my
Grand
number.
system.
Yeah.
Yeah, according to them, it will be depending on how Live Arena Seasons does, if they do or don't, which again, I don't like that. I feel like it should just be done. It should just be
And
done.
we've had
I
2
mean,
seasons of that now, so how many seasons do they need of analytics to look at?
well, how long did it take him to quote unquote fix the Trunda
Like
problem?
a year? More than
like
that?
2.
Yeah.
So yeah, you know, it's gonna, and they still haven't even fixed the Trunda problem because Trunda still reigns supreme. They just screwed up most of the other teams that are out there, right? That said, let's find out where people can come and find you, Ken.
FinalKenpachi, both Twitch and YouTube, guys. I'm streaming every single day at the Columbus Reset. Come hang out. Thank you.
Awesome. Zero, what about you?
Yep, come see me on Twitch and YouTube because I got that dual stream rocking Sunday, Tuesday, and Friday evenings. If you're on my Discord, if one of those nights to change, so like this week we did Thursday instead of Friday, but yeah, come hang out. And of course, all the likes and subscribes on the YouTube would be very helpful. Thank you.
Awesome. Gestal, what about you?
Gestal Gaming on Twitch and on the YouTubes. I stream Sunday through Friday, 2 to 7 Pacific Standard Time.
Okay. And Mr. MXPJE.
Yeah, check me out on YouTube and Twitch, MXPJE. We stream pretty much every single weekday, 2 times a day as much as possible. And we have a great time. Come say what's up.
Awesome. Ken, what you got for a shout out for me, bro?
I like to shout out the King Copium. King Copium been also with us on the multiple time on this podcast. Make sure to follow him, guys. I'm going to leave his link over there. Great guy, great streamer.
Awesome. Gestal, what you got for a shout out for me, bro?
We're gonna give a shout out to the missing man here, JR Star 3. If you guys aren't following him, he's the OG with Blazing. They started this whole thing off back in the day. Go give him a follow, JR Star 3.
You've been
I
with
came
us
in a
since-
couple of weeks later.
You've been
He
in
was
for a
the
hot minute. You and Ken too, which is
Yeah,
much
yeah.
appreciated from both of you guys.
PJ,
PJ.
awesome coming in.
What about you, bro? What you got for a shout out?
All right, we're going to be giving a shout out to Mr. Nam on my Chomsky. He's an awesome dude.
Oh,
Saw him streaming the other day. When he does stream, definitely make sure you catch him. He's a good dude, very funny, awesome account, good guy overall. Definitely follow.
Awesome. And Zero, what you got for a shout out for me, bro?
I was going to pick someone from the community, but Blazin, I don't think you get enough credit, sir. So we're going to give you a shout out. You got a lot of stuff going on in life for y'all in the community that don't know. Blazin works really hard to put this show together, and he always commits and puts it in there. So let's give Blazin some love, and thank you for putting this together and coming up with the topics and everything. It's a lot of thought that goes into it, especially when you're trying to run multiple accounts, try to do YouTube, work, family, crazy life. So he puts a lot of work in.
You're gonna make me cry, man. I'm getting emotional.
I'm just saying, honestly, you got a lot going on right now, especially, the information you told us today. So, just thoughts and prayers to Blazin, his family, give him some love. And, we couldn't do this without you. So thank you so much.
I appreciate it. Thank you. And my shout out's going to go out to Bick. Love the guy, love chatting with him. Love doing my collabs with him, and I will tell you guys, like, a lot of the times we're sitting up behind the camera talking. It's like a good 30 minutes or so before we start hitting record, and then once we start hitting record, we can sit there and talk for hours. But that said, I will say I am disappointed. If he opens up shards, it is the easiest thing for him to do, to just record that video and put it on damn YouTube, bro. Come on. Come on. And with that said, we are actually going to raid Mr. Bick over on Twitch. So when we get there, make sure you guys wish him a happy birthday, even though it's not his birthday. Let's just wish him a happy birthday and show him some love. Let him know that we brought you guys over. And guys, we will see you all next week. We'll definitely have a lot more things to talk about with the event dungeon coming up, some strategies, and whatever else Plarium does from now till then. As always, much love, much appreciation. Be safe, be well, be good to each other. We'll catch you guys next time.